Hey y'all, welcome to the Bamgboshe Happy Hour Big Brother cast reveal. I am Peju Bamgboshe Rothlisberger,
Hi, everyone, and I'm Naomi Bambushi.
and we're so excited to kick off the Big Brother season 27 with a toast to the brand new cast. Before we start the toast, in this episode, we're going to be diving into our first impressions, who we think is a front runner, who might get the first boot, and who's likely to end up in a showmance. You can
Wait a minute, Peju. We're going to predict all that just on an initial introduction? Okay.
Yes, we can do it. All right. You excited, Ma?
Oh, yeah, we can do it, but I don't think we have any real information. But okay. Yes, I'm just really excited.
All
Whoop
right.
de doo. Whoop de doo.
Well, you can always catch the Bambushi Happy Hour every Thursday and Sunday, talking about pop culture, film, TV, and of course, Big Brother, breaking down gameplay and all the chaos in the house. Plus, I'll be dropping quick updates every Friday about my reactions to Big Brother. Make sure that you subscribe to All Things Peju, home of the Bambushi Happy Hour, and also stream our podcast on Spotify, Apple, and pretty much any place you can get podcasts. So, Ma, would you like to start us off with a toast before we get into our lovely Big Brother 27 cast?
Okay, let's lift our glasses to a successful, what is this, 27th season
That is
of
correct.
Big Brothers?
Yes.
Continued long life, prosperity, health, wealth, and happiness to all the contestants of Big Brother season 27. Salud.
Salud. Okay. All right. This lovely gentleman we have here posted is named Riley. Riley is 27 years old, Ma. He is from, or I don't know if he's from there, or if he's living there now, Luther, Oklahoma. He is a professional bull rider. And a fun fact,
Oh, great.
yes. And a fun fact, he is unshakable under pressure. He's a true daredevil. And a quote, he's cool, calm, and collective. I'm just going to be me. And he's not against being in a showmance, but he doesn't like to lie. So, what are your thoughts on Riley, Mom? He believes.
Okay, I have mixed emotions about Riley
Okay.
because cool, calm, and collected will serve him well. Obviously, that serves you well in almost any circumstance. But this thing about him not liking to lie, I don't know that that will serve him well on Big Brother. So he's a cutie pie. He looks like a real cowboy. And let's see how that goes. I'm glad he's down for the showmance because I could see it happening.
Yeah, let's see what happens with him in the showmans. Yeah, he says that he believes people very easily until they prove him wrong. And I'm like, well, on Big Brother, everybody's, lying. Come on.
Right. So, like I said, I'm not too sure how all that, mm, trust you until you prove to be untrustworthy. I think he would serve him and all the other contestants better if they would say, I don't trust you until
Right.
you prove you can trust it.
Right. Do
Okay.
he wants to be in the showman, so let's see if that works out for him. So I can see that. I don't think he'll be a first boot. I think he'll be somewhere in the middle. So let's
Well, yeah, because he's coming across as likable and trustworthy.
right,
So he's coming across as being a useful pawn.
right. Okay.
Okay.
Let's move on to another player here. And I think this is Zay. I want to make sure I have his name correct because he is
Hmm.
his name is Isaiah, but he goes by Zay. And he is from Provo, Utah.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and he is a salesperson. Says he's a smooth talker, expert in diffusing tension, and says, I'm going to sweep away the competition with a janitor, but he's undecided on whether or not he wants to tell people that he's in sales. So I don't know.
Okay, I got it because people automatically think that he is persuasive and view him as a threat. And some people may think he's dishonest because, salespeople, not that they're dishonest, but they're very persuasive.
Mhm.
And sometimes they have a tentative relationship with the truth.
Yes.
So I see him as being a cutie pie. I can only see his face. I can't see his whole body.
Mhm.
But just based on what I'm seeing of him, he looks handsome. He's got a kind of sexy look about him. And I see him as being a threat and not hanging around long.
You know what, Ma, I agree with you because, people can see him as very attractive and I don't know how strategic he is because a salesperson, is that really that much of a threat when you say salesperson? Like physically, you may look at him, he's young, he's probably in really good shape, he's attractive. Those are things that they try to, get rid of right away.
I
So,
think salespeople have a reputation for being dishonest. And I think that may be where he's vulnerable.
okay, okay. Um,
Maybe not. Maybe
oh,
not.
okay. I have to see him in action.
Salespeople are, either very good at selling
Mhm.
or they're supposed to be successful, they're supposed to be very good at selling. And they sell all types of stories.
You know what I do see him in? I do see him in a showmance. That I see.
Oh, absolutely. I do too. That may be another reason that he is vulnerable.
That is true. Okay,
Yeah.
let's move on. Okay. I think we have Ashley. Let me just double check. Miss Ashley. Now, Ashley is 25. She is between Chicago and New York City. And her occupation is
What do you mean between? He lives in both places?
I don't know if she's from Chicago and lives in New York or, vice
Or
versa.
the reverse?
Right.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
So she's a
So she
lawyer.
Miss Ash. Okay.
She's a lawyer and she graduated from Georgetown Law School.
Oh, good for her.
Yes.
Georgetown University. Very good for her.
She also is very athletic. She's also been in pageants. A fun fact, she's a mock trial expert, a sharp strategist and debater.
Uh
And,
oh.
and she
Uh-oh.
says, I'm ready to get the blood on my hands and take these people out one by one, baby. And she also says, I am not going to tell them I am a lawyer. I am going to say I'm a social media strategist. And I agree that she should.
Very good. Yeah, I am in 1,000% agreement. Good girl, Ashley. And good luck to you because you're coming in as an intelligent young woman, so you're automatically a threat.
Yeah.
But to say that you're a lawyer would be the death knell. You'd be out in 5 minutes. And
Oh.
I'm glad that you decided not to share that bit of information.
And I
As far as her face, she appears very attractive and very friendly. She
Mhm.
has a friendly look, and let's see if she can sell it.
Now the only
Okay.
I think that she comes in very strong. I think she has a really good way with her words. The only thing that I'm a little bit worried about is I heard her say she's not 100% opposed to a showmance, and I think that that is not good for
Nope, those showmances make you vulnerable. You
yeah.
gotta, even you may make it through successfully in a showmance, but that's just another thing that you have to negotiate and navigate and protect.
Mhm.
So that adding that showmance thing just makes it a little more difficult for you.
Mhm. I
Okay.
I agree 100%. But I think she's going to be a strong contestant if if she survives the first couple of weeks. I think she'll be around for a minute. Okay.
Okay. All
Um,
right. Good luck, Ashley. And
now,
good luck to the two previous gentlemen as well.
now we have, I think this is Mickey. I want to make sure I'm not bugging. Yes, Mickey Lee. Now, Mickey Lee currently is in Atlanta, Georgia. She's 35. She's an event curator. She says that she's hosted 500 plus attendee events. She's hyper social. And she says, I'll be everyone's favorite until it's time to strike. Now, she said that she's not intimidated by these men. She's not coming in here for a showmance because she lives in Atlanta and there are plenty of men. Now, when she said that there's plenty of men in Atlanta, yes, there are plenty of men in Atlanta, but a lot of people that I know from Atlanta said they've had difficulty finding relationships in Atlanta, especially women. So,
Right. Well, we know that Atlanta has a very sizable gay population.
yeah,
We know that. Yeah, and I mean that's not any secret. We all know that.
yeah,
Well, so when she says that, she sounds disingenuous. Okay,
that's kind of
and let's call it for just as call it for what it is. Well, I only have to read her looks and what she says, and what I'm going to say is, if she presents the way she looks, she's going to be out very quickly.
okay.
Uh, if she presents different than she appears, because she doesn't appear to be that warm, she doesn't appear to be that friendly. She has a stance like I'm ready to do battle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she has that look in her eye like I'm ready to do battle, and part of her narrative we know is disingenuous.
Okay, yes.
So, yeah. So, good luck, and I hope for her sake, she doesn't present her behavior is not what she presents. I hope I'm reading the cover of the book incorrectly,
Well,
because based on the cover of the book, I would say she doesn't come across particularly ingratiating or welcoming. And that usually is not good.
well, you know what's funny, I got to hear a couple of clips. I didn't get to hear everybody's, but I did hear some of hers, and it was like fast forwarding, so I heard a little bit. And she believes that she's very friendly and that people will not take her as a threat because she feels that she knows how to kind of warm up to people and have them think that she's really like down for them. She appears to think that she comes across as more friendly in person, and maybe she does. Maybe just like the photo we're getting isn't the best
Well,
representation
guess what?
per
Well,
person.
guess what? Guess what?
She
When they
looks like
took
a
these
boss.
photos,
On this
what
photo,
happened?
she looks like a boss. She looks like she's a person who takes
Yes,
charge. She
yes,
doesn't look like
yes,
somebody who's like,
yes,
chill and laid back.
absolutely. So if she was trying to give, first impressions are all important. If you know you're taking these photos as part of the cast of an immensely popular show, why would you want to be giving this impression?
Right.
Okay, so she's already reading the room wrong, and the room is the millions of people who will be tuning into that show,
Mm-hmm.
and the super fans who are looking at the cast, the contestants. Okay, why is this what you're giving if you want to come across as warm and fuzzy and friendly and all accepting? Even her arms are crossed, and everyone knows that that is standoffish.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows that. Okay, you don't have to be any body language expert to know that.
Yeah,
So she's already reading the room wrong.
that's true. That's true. Let's see. She could surprise us.
Okay,
Sometimes we see these photos.
well, let's see. But guess what? She's gonna have to overcome this photo. You understand? She could have the same photo and make a heart or put her arms down or show her teeth. You understand? She could have the same photo with a different pose and send a different message, but she didn't do that. She's giving herself another obstacle because other people are reading her the way we are.
Yeah.
And when they meet her, this is how they're going to think of her. So she's got to overcome that. Whereas the young lady before that, who may be much more treacherous, doesn't have to overcome that because she's already perceived as being more warm and accepting because of the picture. They
Yeah.
say don't judge a book by the cover. Guess what? In the real world, we do. We
Well,
do.
let's see what happens in the real world, and let's see if these photos, when they get to see these photos, let's see. Okay.
She already saw the photo. She know how she posed. Go ahead.
Now let's move on to this gentleman here. Now I want to make sure that I have him. I think this is, because I may have the wrong person, so just forgive me. I don't think that is. I think that's Zach. Let me just make sure. I think it's Zach. And Zach is, where is Zach? Okay, Zach is 27 and he is from Cartersville, Georgia. And he is a marketing manager. And a fun fact about him is that he excels at persuasion. And he says that he's interested in their deepest, darkest secrets. And that's how he's going to win, is finding out what people are hiding. So,
well, good. Well, being that he shared that, I think people might be a little more reluctant to share anything with him. So, I mean, to me, that's funny that, who's he talking to? Doesn't he know that everything he says is for public consumption?
well, no, it doesn't matter. Ma, these people are sequestered, so they're not hearing.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Oh, I keep forgetting. You're absolutely right. And I should remember that about all these shows. But here's the thing that is really
Ma, they may see the pictures. I'm not sure which pictures.
Yeah. Here's the thing that's germane. Any pictures they take, they know that they should present the way they want to be perceived. Okay, they understand that with all these pictures. Okay, that's number one. Okay, so let's move beyond the picture. If I'm just looking, I mean, let's move beyond that part. But if I'm looking at the picture, this guy, to me, just based on the picture, when I meet him, I'm going to be thinking to myself, oh, this guy's kind of nice. This guy's kind of a sweetie pie. I can see, I feel this guy has a heart. Now, behind the smile, heaven only knows what it is. He could be the worst human being on the planet.
Right.
But just based on what I'm looking at, we know that's a facade, or it could be a facade. We know we don't really know, okay? But just based on the presentation here, I would be more inclined to like him.
Yeah, I think that he is a nice looking guy. I can see him being in a showmance. I think he's
not just nice looking. Not just nice looking.
Like,
He looks a little bit warm.
Yeah.
He looks a little bit.
Yeah.
Some nice looking people do not look friendly.
That's
He
true.
looks a little friendly.
That's true. I'm seeing he's giving a lot from this photo. And he didn't talk crazy talk. I think that this is another one, as long as he survives the first 2 or 3 weeks, I think that he can do well in this competition. That's just
okay. All right, Pay. Let's just see. Well, now it's all speculation, and so I'm with you 100%. Okay.
All right. Now let's move on to Will. Now, Will is the oldest competitor, if I'm not mistaken, oldest contestant. Will is his middle name, or at least the name that he goes by. His first name is Clifton, and he is either from South Carolina and now living in Charlotte, North Carolina. He is a college sports podcaster. I think he is a podcaster for women's collegiate basketball. And fun fact is that he's a veteran, and he really wants to hide that. At 22, he was in the Army for 22 years. He says keep that. He says, I don't think you've ever had someone who brings the energy, the joy, and love like Captain Will. Now, I'm going to say automatically he needs to not call himself Captain Will. I don't know if he's just saying in that, in the DR room. but do not
Nope.
happen. And
No, absolutely not.
and
Absolutely not, because he's one of the older ones or the oldest
he is the
ones,
oldest.
and then call himself captain. Mm, 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 mm.
And I think
Mm,
you
mm,
have to
mm,
be
mm, mm.
careful about being an older, because see, he looks like he's still, from what we see, like in pretty good, physical condition, and
Yes, yes.
so,
Oh, he's not really old. He's just old
but
relative
it's
to the
cat.
other contestants.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. And so sometimes that's good and sometimes it's bad. Do they relate to you as an uncle, like Unc, or do they relate to you,
Right,
oh, that's my embarrassing dad, get out, you know?
right, right.
So,
Absolutely. Or my domineering dad,
right.
struggled with and have a contentious relationship with you. So you don't know how that's going to work for you. Yeah.
One thing
You
that
don't
I
know how that's going to work.
one thing I was gonna say that I remember him saying, because like I told you, some of these videos I saw clips of, he has a strategy. His strategy is to get into a 5-person alliance. So 2 guys and 2 women, and he of course is the leader of the alliance, and kind of have like one older contestant in the alliance, have one that is really knowledgeable about everything Big Brother, another one that's very athletic. I don't remember what the other one would do, but he kind of has like a nice strategy. However, I don't know who the other older contestant would be. So we'll see.
Not only that, daughter, how much is he able to exert control over all of those things? Yeah, it's a nice strategy, but like they say, man plans and God laughs.
Right,
Okay?
right,
So
right.
that's what I have to say about the plan. His plan absolutely involves being able to control too many other individuals.
I like him.
So
I don't know.
yeah.
Let's see.
So it's good. It's good to have that plan, but also be able to have a great deal of flexibility in your plan. Don't be too rigid. Be able to, turn on a dime. Be able to make some moves. Because if you're inflexible, that's it. Because you never know what's going to happen on Big Brother.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's move on. Who do we have here? Oh, okay. Now, this is Keanu. Now, Keanu,
Okay.
let me see, because I thought I had his last name here. Keanu, I think it's Soto.
As in Keanu Reeves, that
Yes.
name, first name Keanu.
Yes.
Okay.
Now he is 33 years old. He's
Okay.
from Miami, but currently, my guess where he lives currently,
Texas.
McKinney, Texas.
Oh, whoa, whoa, in our neck of the woods. Oh,
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Not
Uh,
far from either one.
well, no, don't
Okay.
say where we are. They don't need to know
I
exactly.
didn't say where we are.
You
I
just
said not far.
don't say
What
it.
do you mean not far? Okay, well, it's in the United States.
Anyway, his his occupation is a dungeon master, also a personal trainer.
Uh-oh, a dungeon master. Woo! Wait a minute. What? Wait. Oh, okay. Let me leave that alone. Okay. Wait a minute. Is he talking about dungeon master as in a gamer? Or is he talking about dungeon master as in real life sex dungeon master?
I don't think he's talking about real life sex. I don't think so.
Okay. Okay. So he's like a gamer,
Yeah,
right?
that's what I was thinking. But his main
Okay.
job is personal trainer and nutritionist. I think that's like his main.
Okay. Okay, Keanu, you know what? I'm going to need to see you in a more form fitting outfit because I'm not seeing how cut you are in that very loose fitting t shirt.
Do you want to
I'm
see
not
how
seeing.
cut he is? Won't that be intimidating though?
No. When you tell me that you're a trainer, I want to know how cut you are. Okay?
Okay. And he says that he believes
Yes.
in his ability to do improv and connect with a variety of folks, and that gives him an edge. That's what he says.
Okay, well, good. So let's see, Keanu. Because so far, I'm looking at you sideways.
I
Okay.
like I like Keanu, but I'm definitely afraid for him. But there's several people on this cast that I'm afraid that they could be early boots. But I'm personally rooting for Keanu. Like
Mm.
I don't know. I have to.
Well, Keanu has nice hair. That's all I'm going to say.
He does. He has a nice head, thick hair. All right.
Okay.
Let's move on. Oh Lord. Oh, it's I think this is Ava. Ava Pearl. Ava is
Oh,
from
uh, oh gosh.
Ava is from Long Island. She's an aura painter, Ma.
That's also our neck of the woods. Okay.
She's an aura painter.
Aura.
Aura.
Aura. Aura painter. Oh, lovely. Now, what does that mean? She senses your aura and paints it? Or we tell her what our aura is and she paints it? What
Yes.
does that
Yeah, she's not going to tell people that's what she does. She says she reads people's energy and she, can tell colors. She's quirky. She says she's unpredictable. And she says she's broke as hell and will do whatever it takes to win 150K.
Okay, so let me say this about what's her name?
Ava.
Ava, Ava Pearl or something. What's her name?
Pearl.
Ava
Correct.
something.
Yes.
Ava Pearl. Let me say this about Ava Pearl. I think you're a kind person. I think you want to be kind. I think you present as kind. I think you're flower childish because you have a big flower and a floppy hat going back to pictures I've seen of the 70s. I mean, I was just a mere child in the 70s, so I have no real recollection. But I would say that you are a throwback and something of an anachronism in 2025. And well, let's see if you can tiptoe through the tulips in 2025. And for those who aren't familiar with that reference, that's an old song by an entertainer named Tiny Tim. And you remind me of his wife, Miss Lily, with the big flower. Okay, so
I
good luck
fear
to you.
I fear Ava might be a first.
Well, I don't know. Let's just see. Let's see how it works out for her.
I
But
hope not.
she appears to be what I would consider an old school flower child. And I think that's the aura she intends to present.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let's move on to Morgan. Now, Morgan, where is Morgan's information here? Okay, so Morgan Pope is 33 and she
Is
is
what? What?
33. 33.
Oh, 33. Oh, I thought you meant 3 feet. Okay, 33. Okay.
She is in LA and she is a gamer. That is her job. She's a gamer. She has I guess, a Twitch partner. She thrives in competition. And she says, "Bring your teacups. I'm serving up the hot, steaming tea." She also said that she is hiding the fact that she is a gamer.
Okay.
I don't know if she should hide that because it's
I don't know.
real.
Well, a gamer could help her connect to people.
Right.
On level. So I'm like you, I'm kind of ambivalent about that. I don't know which way she should go with that, but she's serving up the tea. She's letting me know she's down to throw a whole lot of shade and get involved in a whole lot of gossip.
Yeah.
So she's going to be stirring things up, Miss Morgan. She's going to be, if she's true to her word, she's going to be stirring things up in that Big Brother house.
And she's not against a showmance. So I don't know who.
You know that's down with stirring up the tea.
Right.
So, that's what it is. Okay.
All right.
Okay, Morgan.
Okay. Let's see. Right here. Now, what is this young lady's name? As we always say, young lady. I know I can tell that she is young. Lauren. So
Lauren.
yes,
Okay.
Lauren Domingue. She is 22. She's
Okay.
Lafayette, Louisiana, and she is a bridal consultant. She also planned 100+ weddings in Harmony. And she says that she's a Southern belle, and she says she hasn't really seen anyone that's like sweet as her and that bring, Southern bellish, that bring whatever she's bringing to the competition. So I don't know. They did have a Southern winner with a very thick accent. I don't remember her having a thick accent, but I'm not sure. What are your thoughts on this woman?
Lauren, I wasn't reading Southern Belle when I looked at you. Um, I was actually reading more Latina, though Latina can be Southern Belle as well. I was looking more at a Latina culture as opposed to Southern culture. That's just from looking at you.
Right.
And maybe your name too, and maybe your surname as well. However, whatever works for you. If that Southern Belle thing has been getting you the results you want, fine. I'm not sure exactly what that Southern Belle means. It means different things to different people. I'm not sure what part of the Southern culture you are embracing.
I
And
think
I'm going to leave
she
it.
she mentioned a showmance. To me, she's like clicking for a show that I can see that happening in a good way.
Okay. Well, when you say a showman's clicking in a good way,
Not in a good
what?
way.
Oh, not in a good way. Okay, okay. All righty. Okay, so well, let's see, Miss Lauren, how things go. Okay.
Okay. She may be a recruit, like they may have recruited her. I'm not sure. I have to check and double check that. It's either her or another woman on here, and I'll show you that person. Now here, is this Ava? Let me see. Not Ava. That's not Ava. Ava is a 24-year-old. Amy. So Amy is 43. She's from Stockton, California. She's an insurance agent. She says she's calm under pressure and she leads local community meetups. And she says it's a game of strategy and connections, and she's good at building connections. Also said she's a girl's girl, wants to start a girls' alliance. Now we know that's not a good idea. Girls' alliances, not good.
Absolutely not, because you're going to have some people who are going to revolt. Okay. So, or just not even sign on in the first place. But what I'm going to say is that, you know what? She gives Amy, is it?
Yes.
Amy gives extreme friendly vibes just on her facial expression. She comes across, just on the smile, she comes across very friendly. So I don't know if that's going to hurt or help her.
She also said she's not opposed to a show, even though her son told her, no, don't do that, Mom.
Well, I'm in agreement with her son. And I say, if you find somebody you like on the show, wait until the show is over and then pursue it. Okay? I know the show is long as reality shows go, but it is short in terms of a lifetime, time you could potentially spend with a serious mate. So I would say, Miss Amy, lay in the cut until after the show is over.
Okay. I think she could be an early boot because she's so
Yeah.
into girl thing, girl thing, girl thing, girl thing. It's a bad idea to single out any particular thing that makes you just like everyone else, whether it's gender, whatever it is.
Anything that separates you from the rest of the group,
Yeah,
not good.
I don't think
And the thing about it, and Miss Amy, have you been really looking at past seasons of the show? Because you may already know that that's not a good strategy coming into this show.
I
Okay.
agree 100%. The only one good thing she did say was that MJ, aka Mackenzie from last season, made a bad mistake by not by taking Chelsea to the final. Now, she had the chance to cut Chelsea, and she didn't. She could have went up against Cam, and obviously she would have beat Cam. But instead, she went up against Chelsea and lost unanimously.
Hey, hindsight is always 50-50. And anyhow, it isn't Mackenzie's hindsight, it's Amy's. Let's see how well she does. You have this observation and critique of Mackenzie's game. This is your opportunity. Let's see how well your strategy works for you about forming an alliance with the ladies. Let's
Right.
see how that works for you.
And
Okay.
MJ did get to the final too. She was runner up.
Absolutely. I don't think it has hurt MJ overall. She maybe didn't win that 750, but I think she opened up some opportunities for herself.
Okay. Next now, what girl's name here? I think this is, I don't want Catherine. Is this Cat? That is not Catherine. So sorry. Let me, because that is not the right name. The names here. Let's see. It is definitely not. I want to say her name. Is it Kelly? It's Kelly. Yes. So this is Kelly. I guess it's Georgeson. She's 29. And she's from Burbank, South Dakota. I didn't know they had a Burbank, South Dakota. Her occupation is web designer. And she's a self-taught coder. And she says she's going to because I've got the farm kid grit. What are your thoughts on Kelly?
I'm sorry, you said Kelly is a what?
A web designer.
A web designer. Kelly looks like down on the farm.
That's what she
Kelly
said.
looks. She said she's a farmer.
She says, I've got that farm kid grit.
Okay, and that's what she looks like. I didn't even hear you when you said that, but just looking at her, she looks like and is dressed like and is not made up, which is like a very natural, earthy type person. She looks like a farmer. She looks like she's a farmer. That she's a coder and a web designer and so on and so forth. Good for her. And even if she's a farmer, good for her. But she looks like a farmer. I would imagine that she would hang around for a while. I would imagine that she'd be a formidable opponent. Let's see. But she certainly looks like a down on the farm person to me.
I just don't see it. She looks right there, she looks kind of friendly. But I think she may be a little over her head. I could be wrong, but I'm not getting the sense that because I don't get the sense that she wants to be a villain or that she wants to, sometimes, not be a little bit deceitful. So I don't know, but this could all be an act. You never know. You never know.
Okay.
Let's move on. We're getting there. Okay, now this woman is Catherine. Now, Catherine is 23, and I think Catherine is a recruit. I could be wrong. She's a fine dining server, but she refers to herself as a waitress. She says,
"Oh yeah, of course."
She says, "I accommodate people even when I don't like them, and they still tip me. That's power." She says that she has a degree. She says that people are going to underestimate her and not realize how strategic she is. And so let's see. I can see her being a very strong competitor. What about you, Mal?
I think she'll be a strong competitor as well. I really don't know. I think she's a civil. I don't think she's overly friendly, and I certainly don't think she's standoffish. I think she'll move in a way that's purposeful to her own goal. That's what I think about her.
Yeah.
I don't think she's just Oh, I don't think she's just overall so friendly toward everyone, but I think she'll, move in a way that, is self-serving. And that's the way I see her.
She doesn't give off to me, like you said, overly friendly, and she doesn't give off nasty, which means to me like she can go in the middle, and I think that's kind of
Yeah.
dangerous. Yeah.
Well, she's going to have to make certain decisions because she's going to be forced into situations where she can't be neutral. She's going to have to go one way or the other, and then we'll see.
Showmance or no?
Yes, showmance.
Yeah, I see that too. Right? We're getting there. Oh, wow. Let's see who this gentleman is here because, okay, this is Vince. His name is Vince Panero, and he's 34. He's from West Hills. What do you think his job is, Ma? Just a wild guess.
Oh my goodness, a lumberjack. Where'd you say he's from?
West Hills, California.
I don't know, something up in the mountains. I don't know where West Hills is, but he looks like a forest ranger or mountain man or something. I don't know.
Well, listen, he's lived in 8 countries. He says, I'm breaking the
Well,
game into many games.
he might be anything. Okay.
He's also what we call unemployed. That's what he says.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that's the worst job.
Well, that's what he is. I don't know about him. I don't know. Just the look of him is giving me like he could pretend to be something that he's not. But I'm not getting winner from this for sure. But I don't know. I might.
Oh, neither am I. Why is he unemployed? What the heck is going on?
Don't know. It says unemployed.
Well, I mean, anybody can be unemployed, but usually they aren't going on to a reality show.
Right.
Usually they have. And then when he was employed, what did he do?
Yeah, he
Come on.
lists that.
There's a big question mark there. Do we know?
No, but he looks. I could see him being unemployed. Just this look he has going here.
Listen. Everybody can be unemployed, like I said. But what is your work history?
Right. Right. Well, Vince, I don't know. Let's see what Vince brings to the show. Let's see. All right. Moving on now. This young man is Adrian. Now, Adrian Rocha, or Rocha, however he pronounces it, is 23 years old. And he's from San Antonio, Texas. He is a carpenter. And you know what he said about himself? He said, honestly, in my head, I'm the greatest Big Brother player the world has yet to see. I'm ready to prove it. He slept on the ground. He's practiced eating slop. He's made what is it? A competition outside his wall. He did it outside his in his backyard. He has a lot going on there. He says he's a super fan, the strategic notebook. He knows every cast twist, every single one of them. To me, he's doing too much.
Right. Well, I think he'll enjoy the game, and I hope he won't allow himself to be easily persuaded and manipulated by, you know, uh, you know, the adulation for other people who have knowledge of the game and that kind of thing. Because he seems like the type that comes in as a super fan and the type who would be like a hero worshiper, that kind of thing. So I hope that I'm reading that wrong because that can steer you down the wrong path.
Yeah, listen. I saw him talk for all 30 seconds, and it gave me he might be a first boot.
Oh, well, hey, so be it. What can you say?
He was doing way too much. Okay. Moving on to our last, well, I guess next to last contestant. That is Mr. Jimmy. Now, Jimmy Haggerty is 25 years old. I think he's currently in DC. He may be from Sarasota, Florida, or the reverse. His occupation is interesting. He is an AI consultant. He has built a home escape room, and he is a data-driven strategist. He likes analytics. He comes from a world where manipulation and timing are key. And guess what else about him, Mom? Well, I'm
What?
not going to say that he's an AI consultant. He's a triplet. And he,
Oh, wow.
yes, and he mentioned about coming out, which is awesome. But he is a triplet. So I hope that we only see
Oh, good
one
for
Jimmy.
him.
Ma, I hope we only see one Jimmy, not the other two.
Okay. Oh, good for him. That is interesting. That is very rare. And he probably has a close bond to his siblings. So that's nice. That's very interesting. How he'll do on the show, he may do very well because he's probably very accustomed to hiding and sneaking and fooling people.
Yes. Yes,
I
that is
haven't seen those sibling, but just based on what I'm hearing, I'm pretty sure he's very good at subterfuge,
mhm.
and that's what I think we'll be seeing from him.
Uh Jimmy, he seems okay. I didn't get that he was going to be as great of a strategist as he says, but you never know. I didn't, people that I got strong feelings from early on was Ashley, the attorney. I thought that she would be really good. I'm looking at what's the other woman? The server. I'm kind of looking at her, Catherine, the waitress. I'm thinking that she comes across pretty well. And I'm looking at Zach, and I thought Zach came across really well. So
Okay.
I
Oh,
don't know. We will see. Remember, I said, maybe I didn't mention this. So, and there's going to be a mystery house guest. We don't know who that person is, of course, but they describe this as epic and polarizing. So,
uh-oh.
who it is, we don't know, Ma. We don't know if it's a former contestant. We don't know if it's another reality show.
I'm thinking, I'm thinking former contestant, but it doesn't have to be. Yeah.
Well, they're saying Julie Chen said that she was surprised they were able to get this person. Now, we don't know if the person is going to come in and be a normal contestant, from the beginning to the end, or if this is
Right.
a person coming in for a week and causing chaos, because that this is a mystery theme for this season. So it's almost like a
Okay.
mansion type thing.
Right. Okay. You know what? That's so wide open. It could really be a number of people. Could really be. I would tend to think, in my mind, I would like it to be a former contestant who was uh, booted from the house for very controversial reasons.
Well, you got to
And
know what those reasons were, because there were some reasons.
some reasons they won't let him even come back. It just depends.
Right.
Or somebody they think may have been booted unfairly.
Okay. Yeah.
Uh, that probably is a safer bet. All right.
Would you be
Well, let's see.
upset
Or
would you be upset if Angela popped up again, or Tucker?
that, Angela would get on my nerves, but no, Tucker. No, I grew to like Tucker more. I didn't see Tucker do only bad things. I also saw Tucker do some nice things as well.
Right.
Angela was too much with carrying on and being foolish and whining. She was willing to carry on with that nonsense long after she was gone from the show and involving, her family and this and that. Going too far, turning something that should have been pleasant and should have brought her the extra income, if nothing else, into just like a nasty beef in social media. So I really didn't appreciate that about Angela. And Angela was at the stage of life where she should have been mature beyond that, So,
She should, but
yeah. I would not be pleased to see Angela. I'm not going to say that because I don't think she gives anything positive. She adds, but it's negative.
she gives chaos, and for some people, they like
Yeah,
chaos.
absolutely.
I was
Well,
a huge fan of Angela,
let's see.
although at times she was very entertaining. I think she just went far at times.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
All right, Ma, I gave you, my three people who I think are
Please don't ask. Please don't ask me to pick the three people.
okay.
Please
Is
don't.
there, and I also am rooting for Keanu. Is there anybody in here in particular that you are rooting?
Uh, no, not yet.
Not yet.
No,
Okay.
no, not yet. Not yet. I really don't. I'm really looking at pictures and reading clips.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
really don't know. I want to get a little sense of who they are before and I mean, it will take a while to get to know, quote unquote, them anyway, but I would at least like to see how they present in the opening episode. And
Okay.
after that, I will, like everyone else, have more and more to share. But
Okay.
I at least want them because right now I'm just going on pictures, and for some of them, it's not good. And for others, I may be giving them more credit than they deserve. I really want to see because it's true you can't judge a book by its cover, but yet that's what I'm sitting here doing.
Well, it's all in fun and games, all part of Big
Oh yeah. If I'm going to hazard a guess, uh, in terms of who what I would like to win or who I think is going to win. And looking at the pictures without remembering their names is not going to mean a whole lot. I would like to see the unemployed gentleman. I would like to see
Vince.
him win. What's his name?
Vince.
I don't have his name. Vince. I
It's
would like to see him. I would like to see him win some kind of cash. I mean, because there's a bunch of other ways they win cash. I don't know about the grand prize, but I would like to see him win some cash because most people who are unemployed are having a cash flow problem. Keanu seems friendly enough. Uh, like I said, I just remember that name because I know the name Keanu. Uh,
all good.
I
We
don't.
we got where
I
you
don't know.
we got where you're coming from. All
Yeah. And the one who refers to himself as captain, um,
Will.
he does, yeah, Will, whose real name is Clifton or something like that, but he calls himself Will. He comes across as friendly, even though he has his arms folded. His arms are folded in a way that say, I don't know what to do
Clifton.
with my hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, Clifton. Yeah, AKA Will. Yeah. He comes across very friendly and not, he has his arms folded in not a standoffish way,
Okay.
which is a little bit different, right?
Yes.
So,
So all
so,
good. All good. Now you don't have to have
yeah,
too many
yeah.
if you didn't nobody stood out to you.
Okay.
All good.
Oh,
If there's
well,
nobody else that stood out.
not, not really yet. I really have to get an idea because, people describe themselves in so many different ways and what they're projecting and what they say they are or what they want to project. Sometimes it's not the same thing, you know.
And
Is
who made the worst impression to you? Anybody?
who made the worst impression to me?
Yeah. Just based off of
Just
the
ba-
giving us.
just based on the appearance, the same young man I said I would want to see him win some money because he's unemployed.
Now
Maybe
I
they
go ahead.
maybe they've had unemployed people, on the show before, but being unemployed means there's a certain amount of uncertainty. He isn't, to describe yourself as unemployed, as opposed to a person who is a this or a that or the other thing. to me means that you are facing uncertainty.
Okay.
And I would like to see something good happen for him. If he said he was worked at the drugstore or worked over at the pharmacy or the diner or the this or the that,
Okay. We're getting into
yeah,
some other stuff now. Okay.
okay. Well, for him, I'd like to see him, get something.
Okay. Adrian to me made a bad impression because he's doing too much. And I think it's Amy who is the second oldest, just because I would think that she knew more about strategy and not that
Oh,
she,
rather than to say she's gonna do a girls
yeah,
alliance, girls thing or whatever.
yeah.
And if she like I said before, if she had watched the show even a season or two, she would know that to put that out there is not a good idea, because whereas you're embracing one group, you are excluding other groups. So that's probably not a good thing to do.
Totally agree with you. Uh, I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in. We will be back again. Actually, regular podcast is every Thursday and Sunday, so make sure you tune in. Whatever your preferred streaming method is, we are on Spotify. We're on Apple, everywhere that you can think of, and we also upload our podcast onto YouTube. We will be back again with Thursday and Sunday. I'll be back on Friday with my takes on Big Brother, the first episode, which is airing on Thursday. So, Ma, thank you so much for being with me here again as our part of the event she had before. And we will see everybody again very soon. And be safe. Bye.
Bye.
All right, are you still there?
I'm here. It was coming across choppy on my end. I hope it didn't record that way.